Welcome to another live broadcast here at Careerpoint Solutions, where I have my key guest who will be telling us more about the book Work the System. Welcome very much, Andrew Mutua. Just have a moment to introduce yourself and let us know about you and what you do.
Yeah, my name is, as Dan has just said, is Andrew Mutua. I'm the co-founder and director of a company called Alternate Limited, where we work with mid to large size companies, helping them to automate their business processes.
Great, great, great. That is good. Now, we're here to just take a review about the book, Work the System. You have read the book. Tell us, what is your general take about the book and what is the message that is in that book?
So the book generally gives the story of this gentleman called Sam Carpenter.
Okay.
Sam is a business owner. He runs a company called Centrotel, which is like a telephone answering company. So it's within the telecom sector.
Yeah.
And Sam, at the time, he was aged 50, a single father of 2 children, running and managing this business that every so often he was battling with cash flow crunches, high staff turnover. He was working in excess of 80 hours. And it was at a time while he was still lying in bed that he got this sort of spiritual awakening, through which he got a new perspective of life, which was apparently everything in our world consists of systems.
Right.
This is what he calls the system mindset. And this is what led him now to systemize his business. So the central message of this book is how you can go about systemizing your business to remove all the chaos. Because anything which is not controlled or well managed is bound to be a question of daily firefighting and just being reactive and spending hours on end, which if you don't take charge of it, you're likely to have adverse effects on your health, your mental state, and it could spell doom to your business.
Oh, so when you talk about system, can you give an example of a system? What would you consider to be a system? Maybe in business, now that you had problems with maybe finances, employee turnover, what is an example of a system maybe he put in place and you can share?
So what he did is he broke it down to 3 key documents that every business needs to have, particularly small businesses, because you tend to find these are the businesses that don't have any documentations or systems in place. In most cases, everything will be in the business owner's or the founder's head. So an example is basically what he says is you need to look at all the operations in your business. When you talk of systems, we are referring to business processes or business operations. So think about your business does aspects around sales, your business does marketing activities, your business does administrative activities, which could include running your payroll, it could include how you recruit your employees, it could include how you process your finances, all this. So once you need to document all your processes, break them down into simple activities, and then now go ahead and develop what he calls working procedures. So this is where you lay step-by-step process of how do you handle customer complaints? How do you do payroll processing in your organization? And this helps you to be more systemized or be more structured in the way you execute. So the 3 documents that I mentioned is one. The first one you need to have as a business is what he calls a strategic objective. So this typically is a 1-pager document, and it should be ideally a 1-pager document which outlines your this becomes essentially your mission statement. What's your objective as a company? What are your targets? Which direction are you taking in the next 3 to 5 years? What's your intention? And those kind of things. So that lays out your strategic objective. So that's the first foundational document that you need to have as a business owner. The other foundational document is what he calls general operating principles.
Okay.
So general operating principles outlines your sort of the guidelines of how you make decisions in an organization. You can think of them as like your values and your beliefs. So because you might not be able to outline everything, but what is the ethos, what is the philosophy,
Yeah.
sort of, what are the principles that help you think through how you make decisions in your organizations. Then finally, and then the first thing I mentioned about them is those, in most cases, remain relatively static, so you won't change them many a times. The example of Sam Carpenter's company, Centratel, had about 30 general general operating principles. Then now it comes into the working procedures. These now are going to be many, and this is where you spend a lot of your effort. And it's not a one-off. Yeah. So because you might be doing customer complaint today using these steps, but in 2-3 years that could change. You might find another more effective or efficient way to do it. So they need to be maintained and updated every now and then.
Right, good. So, and the third one, the third document?
So that's a working procedures.
Oh, the working procedures.
So the first was strategic objective, general operating principles, and then working procedures. And working procedures are many.
Oh, okay.
So it will outline all those processes that you have in your organization.
Okay, good. I think at this point I will just want to pause and say thank you very much for everyone who is joining us. Please take a moment, like the conversation, you can share it and leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching us from. Are you finding value in this conversation? And do you have any questions in regards to what we are able to discuss? So I'll just like the conversation. I'll know who has been able to like the conversation. And you have any questions, please feel free to drop in the comments. So when I just want to mention, I think you have talked about, especially for entrepreneurs, most of them have the ideas in their head. They know how the business run, or most of it comes from them, and employees sometimes get stuck when a new situation comes up because they don't have the idea of what they need to do. But of course the entrepreneur themselves know what to do, and I think that really worked well. I think we were discussing this the other day, and here at Careerpoint, so they had an issue with the customer service. Yeah, we used to take care of issues that have been raised by our customers, but most of the time they would ask me, what do we do when someone does this? What do we do? Or I was the one who's mainly in charge, and I was able to document and prepare a support document whereby every employee would read through. They would know the different scenarios, different cases, who would do what, when. And it has really freed up my time, and also the employees, they know what to do at what time, which is, I think, is a very great thing. Yeah. Being able to remove it from your head, put it on paper as a document of reference. Now, this whole work, the system, how can you apply it now in personal life apart from business?
So, and I guess this is also the central message in the book. As much as is given the strategies or the process you can take as a business to systemize your business operations, he says the most important thing, and actually that takes up part 1 of the book, is developing the systems mindset. So when you think of your life, you've got several facets that make up your life. You've got your relationships, you've got your health, you've got your finances, you've got your growth. It could be in your career, mental growth, maybe you're pursuing a course or you're developing a particular skill. So think of all these facets as system units that make up your life. So if, for example, and the idea that Sam says is you need to isolate each part, yeah, and then now come up with a process. So for example, let's say I'm trying to work on being more energetic and fit. So that looks at my health. So how can I go about it? It could be I will come up with a daily regiment, which will be I'll be running, I'll be ensuring that I eat well, I'll be walking more. Maybe if I was using the car, I will look at restructuring my life in a way that I can be working more to ensure that I'm more active. So that's one of the ways. So the idea is, once you develop this systems mindset, if you look at the world and the way the world is structured, virtually everything is running um, in a very predictable manner. And it's because there are already systems in place. Before it rains, you can imagine what's the process that happens. Clouds form, and then they pour over as in some. There's a water precipitation. I don't remember those things that we learned, the leeward and wayward direction.
Yeah.
But I think about that way, and many of them are linear. You could find some of them that are non-linear, but mostly there's sort of a step-by-step process.
Yeah.
And you can adopt that kind of thinking or view of life and apply it.
Okay, good. Now, on a personal life, is it important, or should someone really document it, or just having it in your head still, it's a good idea? Because I'm thinking from a personal point of view, you're not necessarily having someone else coming in to do the exercise for you. You are the only person who is doing it. So is it good for you to also document it, or well, it still stays in your head, it's okay?
I think, as we always learn, simple things like goal setting. They say, a goal written is another step forward towards you attaining that goal. So I think you might not maybe be fully structured like in a business sense, but simple things. And I think you've shared some of these tools around the weekly rhythm tracking tool. So it's important to document what are the things that you will do towards ensuring, for example, you will maintain a healthy lifestyle, and be able to track how well you're performing towards fulfilling that goal. So I think it's important moving it from your head, putting it on a piece of paper, and there are many people that actually even recommend that it's even important you handwriting it.
Yeah.
Beyond typing it on your computer. Now we have several digital tools that somebody could use, but they do recommend that it's important for you to write it down.
Yeah.
You could consider putting it on a digital tool somewhere where you can refer.
Yes.
But just the initial step of moving it from your head to the paper helps a lot.
I totally agree with you. I believe that when someone writes something down, there is magic that happens in terms of you being able to actually accomplish what you said to do, having written it down. When it stays in the head, I think it's Jim Rohn who says the human mind is one very good organ, but for sure it can't be trusted in terms of memory and making sure that you do what you say that you will do. Yeah. So you can commit it just to memory, but it will always fail you. You will always count on it that you will forget at some point. But when you write it down, even when I come from a teaching background. As a teacher, there is a reason why we might insist that a student write their notes. You should write this thing down, because once you write it, there's a connection and it's able to stick more in your mind and in your long-term memory. Yeah, good. So if you were to summarize, what would be the greatest take that you have from the book Work the System? What would be the greatest or the biggest lesson you have learned, or you think anyone who reads it, even if they miss all the others, this is the one thing that they need to have?
I think it's just those three key documents. As a company, we're in the process of actually putting ours together. Develop your strategic objective, draw up your general operating principles, and document all your business processes into working procedures. I think that's the key message that Sam was endeavored to pass along through this book.
Yeah.
And more so, and I think the final one is just being able to internalize that system mindset.
Yeah.
Look at life with that lens, with that view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And thank you very much. As we are just about to finish this live broadcast, I really appreciate when I know who is live, who is watching us. So please feel free to leave a comment on the just a comment below. Let us know where you're watching us from, if you're finding value in this. And I'll go back now to you. How, if someone is watching us and they would really want to get this book, Work the System, how can they get it?
It's actually amazing that the author is not charging anyone to buy the book. The book is actually free for download. So
Okay.
you're not to be plagiarizing or copyright infringement.
Okay.
If you go to workthesystem.com,
Yeah.
workthesystem.com,
I think I can put it in the comments
you
here.
put it in the comments.
Dot work the
system.
system. Oh, sorry.
Workthesystem.com, you get a free download of the book, and there's also a ton of resources that you can download, or you can get through that.
Yeah, that is the website, workthesystem.com. I actually went there, and the good thing, he offers both the audio book and the audio person. So I downloaded the book, and I think it's a 4 hours 4 hours.
Yeah, it's all long.
And I just used my commute time, and within a week I was able to listen to the whole book, which is quite valuable. Thank you very much. And Andrew, how can people get in touch with you?
So you can reach me. So one, I've done a review of the book. So if you want, you can actually find it on my blog, andymutua.com.
Okay, let me just write that down.
And you can reach me on email. That is andrew.mutua@alternateltd.com. So
I'm writing Mutuku. I'm writing Mutua.com.
And the email is andrew.mutua.
Yes, it's andrew.mutua
at alternate
ltd.com. Yeah, there you are. So you can be able to get the book review he has done on his blog, that is andymutua.com, and get in touch with him. Send him an email, that is andrew.mutua@alternateltd.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming through and sharing your information about Work the System.
Thank you, Dan, for hosting me. I appreciate. I hope somebody will find it of value.
Yeah.
And they'll apply it.
Thank you very much. So keep checking us on this live broadcast. We will be doing more and more book reviews, and I think the next book that we will be discussing will be 10x,
the 10x rule,
by Grant Cardone.
Can't wait.
Yes, it's quite a phenomenal book. I have listened to it this past week. I'm doing the second round, and it is quite energetic. It gives me a lot of motivation and energy to do things. So we'll be talking about 10x. Watch out for this space. So thank you very much.